The Easter holidays are among us, and it's a period where we be with our family and relax, and some of us will play video games. This is a list of my 30 favourite comfort games. Not my 30 favourite games, but 30 games I love to relax to and can pick up and play anytime. When I hear the words comfort game, the first game that comes to mind is Far Cry 3. It has a huge open world for first-person shooter standards. It has 3 tropical islands to explore, and you can explore underwater, and it has many side missions and many things you can do. If you're tired of walking, hop on a jeep. You feel like some action, go and liberate an enemy camp and shoot lots of bad guys. You want to explore, there's lots of hidden areas in the islands and things to find underwater. You can find giant towers to climb, which involves a fair bit of platforming. And there's mini games such as gambling, or you can go hang gliding. And exploring means occasionally encountering tigers. The story has characters that aren't meant to be likable. The story involves careless thrill seekers on a holiday, and it has backstabbing, sex and crazy things happening in this tropical non-paradise. Street Fighter Alpha 2 is my favourite fighting game of all time. I still play this game often. It's colourful and I love the mechanics and the amount of damage the normal moves and special moves do. The stages look nice and often have great music. As I've said in many of my other videos, the Saturn version of this game is my favourite version because you can select Shinakuma. I play Street Fighter Alpha 2 all the time, maybe not daily, but almost. It's a game I can relax to. I love the way it looks, the way it sounds. It's technical, but it's not difficult. I play a more defensive style and it works for this game. But if you play an offensive style, that works. A gem I haven't talked about in any other videos, gliding around in the atmosphere of the city is so captivating. The fighting mechanics feel so fluid. I've been a fan of Batman since I was a kid. I used to watch Batman TV show when I got home from school in the late 80s, and I still have lots of Batman collectibles from the early 90s. Honestly, the 89 Batman movie is still my favourite Batman movie. My second favourite is Batman Begins. Anyways, this game is a great take on Batman, and people say Batman has some of the best and most interesting villains. I like how the backstory for the villains is presented through interviews with a psychiatrist, and you hear their motives and the reasons why they became the people that they are, and you can't help but to feel sorry for them sometimes. And they do have an interesting outlook on things, such as explaining how they aren't any more crazy than most other people, and most people are guilty of killing in one way or another. I can glide around Arkham City and explore and search for Riddler clues and doing the side missions. This is a game I can relax and play without thinking much. Final Fantasy IX is so relaxing to play. It doesn't take itself too seriously. The characters are lovable and will make you laugh. The towns are charming. The dungeons are the right length. Final Fantasy creator Hironobu Sakaguchi said Final Fantasy IX is his favourite Final Fantasy game. The battle system is turn-based, but the trance feature means boss battles never feel too difficult, and you'll care about the characters because they are so likeable. Final Fantasy IX, I think, is the most universally loved Final Fantasy game. I haven't seen any Final Fantasy fans say that they don't like Final Fantasy IX, and as one of my friends say, there's something so peaceful about Final Fantasy IX. Usually I'm not the biggest fan of arcade-style beat-em-up games, but Streets of Rage 2 is one of the few exceptions. It mixes a futuristic dystopia with a bit of cyberpunk elements. Environments look gritty but lit up and have a nice neon style. The enemies range from punk, Muay Thai fighters, robots, and enemies using other types of martial arts. The combat mechanics feel tight and there's technique to how you use special attacks, as they can quickly finish off a boss but using them depletes your health. When I was in my early teens, me and my friends would play this game co-op and would have a blast. This is a game I keep coming back to when I have 30 minutes to spare and if I just want to experience something fun and atmospheric. Sonic Generations is one of my favourite platformers ever made. It has 2D and 3D levels. I especially love the fast 3D levels, and the game has levels from Mega Drive, the Dreamcast, and the 7th gen Sonic reboot, and those levels have been remade, sometimes from 2D into 3D, and the levels are so fast and exciting. If you've played a Sonic game before, you'll know what to expect here. Environments that mix tropical and futuristic city environments and high in the sky. I also own the re-release, which is Sonic X Shadow Generations, which is a remaster and has a new Shadow game, which is a great game on its own, and the remaster of this game also allows you to have unlimited lives to make the game a bit less frustrating. Most of the levels in this game are from previous Sonic games, so you'll recognise the themes, and like I said, there's gorgeous tropical environments and very fun level designs that you'll remember from the Mega Drive and Dreamcast. And the feel of those levels is similar to in the classic game, but the levels have been remade to make them a little bit faster and more exciting. This is one of my favourite platformer games ever made, and it was a genius idea having 2D levels and 3D levels. The speed is used very well. The underwater city in BioShock named Rapture is a place I keep returning to over and over because of its atmosphere, which makes it so relaxing to play. You feel vulnerable in this underwater city, but the mood is somber and the gunplay feels so good and satisfying, and the concept of an underwater city hidden from the rest of the world is always interesting to see. You can go off the main story path and explore and look for clues as to what's gone wrong, and there's lots of side stories within the main story that are interesting, because Rapture was meant to be a place that is hidden from the rest of the world, where free markets and science could flourish without government interference, but as you can see, things have gone horribly wrong. I like the bluish tinge in the glass when you explore the city, and when walls get damaged, areas will flood, and the little sisters are creepy. While Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is my favourite in the series, I find the original game more relaxing to play. Teams with only 2 fighters means battles are unpredictable but don't drag on. Easy mode allows you to perform special moves and super combos at the press of a button, and there's auto combos where you just need to press a button a few times. Its smaller roster of characters and more simplicity makes it easy for me to get into the mood to play this game. I like how the first two Marvel vs. Capcom games use a pixelated art style that's colourful and traditional and captures the feel of comics. A game I've been wanting to talk about for a while, God of War 3 is in my 10 favourite games. I love its depiction of Greek mythology, with Aphrodite being slutty and you can bang her while she cheats on her husband. Hercules is portrayed as an egotistical doofus, and the atmosphere in the game is dark but draws me in. The gameplay can be button mashy or technical depending on how you want to play. The gigantic bosses never get boring to encounter and add a huge sense of scale, and it's a game I can keep coming back to. The storytelling for Jade Empire reminds me of movies such as Hero and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It has a feel of an Asian cinematic masterpiece. There is a lot of martial arts action, philosophical and poetic storytelling, and the combat is easy to learn and it's fun. There's mythological Asian creatures and you can romance beautiful women. Jade Empire is actually in my top 5 favourite games of all time. It's from BioWare and you can make story choices and you can play the game multiple times because you can't see everything the game has to offer in one playthrough.
Introducing an action role-playing game of mythical proportions.
I live in rural Thailand and grew up in a rural part of Australia. This game gives such a warm feeling and is the definition of a cozy game. Run a farm, make money, get married, interact with village folk and attend festivals is the name of the game. But the way you go about it is so relaxing. You can do things such as fishing, raise pets, and exploring the forest, which can lead to surprises. I'll let you watch some of the cozy scenes, and I love rural life. I still play Mortal Kombat 2 often. I like how it has the classic feel while having fatalities that are some of the most brutal in the series. While people say the AI is cheap, you can easily beat the AI by just jumping backwards because the AI will often jump forwards and allow you to get a free hit on it. The catch is don't let AI opponents get too close or trap you in the corner or get hit by their projectiles. I just find this game fun and relaxing to play. Iconic characters such as Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Raiden, and I like the SNES version of this game the most because it allows you to do certain tricks to defeat Kintaro and Shao Kahn easily. And the SNES version has sound effects that are accurate with the arcade version, and its graphics and colours are accurate with the arcade version. The Mega Drive version of Sonic 2 had to be on this list somewhere. Bright colours, catchy music, fast platforming, and easy difficulty level. If you want a platformer that you can unwind to, this is one. Sonic 2 is not only one of my favourite platformers ever, it's in my top 30 favourite games of all time. I can just get in the mood to play this game so easily. I love and remember the 1980s. The many timeless and catchy music tracks. I love Tropical and I enjoyed watching Miami Vice in the late 80s, early 90s. put all these things in an open world game where you're free to do almost anything you want, and you have GTA Vice City. Another game I can just sit back and relax to, even though you're playing as a bad guy. I feel like it's just one where I don't really feel like I'm being bad. It's just a pleasure and just the nice scenery. It's like reliving my favourite decade. I feel very lucky that I was born in 1983 and I can still remember the late 1980s. There was always great music and great colourful fashion, and just something about the 80s made things more fun. One of the more modern games on this list, such fun and wacky platforming and level designs take control of a T-Rex, tank, bullet bill and other forms. The levels are huge, and exploring New Donk City, which has a New York style theme to it, was awesome. Its difficulty is on the easy side, but it's relaxing and fun to play, and even after you beat the game, there's still a lot of exploration to do and some challenging moons to try to collect. I love the themes for the levels. Like I said, a New York style theme, giant Mexican desert, and a world influenced by food, and seaside, of course. While not quite as good as Far Cry 3, for its time it had the most realistic visuals in a game, and was set in beautiful tropical islands in the Philippines. The stealth gameplay is fun, not just because of your stealth suits, but you can use vegetation for stealth, and the alien spaceship interior still looks stunning. The island still looks beautiful. Even today, the scenery is beautiful, the way the beach looks, and you can go and explore a little bit. The map won't be filled with quests to do like in Far Cry, but you can still explore, and there are some side missions you can do capturing enemy camps which are optional. And I like how your suit has various abilities besides stealth. You can make your suit give you extra speed, extra strength, can jump high, and the way weapons are used has a realistic effect. Tekken Tag Tournament 2 has the great fighting mechanics of the Tekken games, and the tag team makes matches unpredictable, as if one character gets KO'd, the team loses. And the visuals look stunning and have great atmospheres. This is my favourite 3D fighting game ever. The character roster is diverse, and the characters are fun to use. I mentioned in another video how in the Tekken games the fighting mechanics have a fluid feel, and the blows feel heavy, and the fighting just feels right in them. Valkyria Chronicles is one of my favourite games ever. It's in my top 30 favourite games ever. People say the game is hard, but using buffs will make your units godly, and using strategy without the upgrades and buffs felt fun, because there's so many ways you can go about winning missions, such as going straight for the enemy main camp or picking off the camps one by one and using diverse units and vehicles. The watercolor art style is lovely. I love the country scenery, and this is a game I've come back to many times over the years and still love it. I platinumed it, and I also earned all the achievements for it on Steam. People describe this game as one of the most innovative JRPGs ever made. It mixes turn-based and real-time strategy and cover mechanics, third-person shooter elements, all very well. Killzone 2 might sound like a strange choice for this list because its story is dark and depressing. I like how there is no real good guys in the story, and the dark war-torn atmosphere gives a sense there's no hope for humanity in this story. And honestly, I see this type of scenario accurate in today's real world. Real life soldiers say Killzone 2 had the most realistic physics for any first person shooter game at the time, and its gameplay felt so satisfying. The shooting, the cover mechanics, and the atmosphere, the way the sky looks, and its rustic feel. I find this game very addictive, and it just relaxes me. I've been a Miami Dolphins fan since 1992. Yes, an American football game. I've played many Madden games over the years, but this is the one I like the most. Like many Madden games, you can play for 20 seasons and it will show a history of the Super Bowl winners for those 20 seasons as well as past Super Bowl champions. But I like how Madden 11 shows the score of each Super Bowl, the real ones plus the ones during the 20 seasons that you played through. Being a manager for 20 seasons and building a team and dealing with retirements, trades and the draft and playing matches yourself is addictive. Being a team owner means you have to set the price of tickets, of the food, decide what type of entertainment and comfort level you want for your fans at their home stadium, and you have a limited amount of money to work with, and you've got to deal with a salary cap. And the physics for the gameplay feel fun, and my favourite NFL game ever. I've been a fan of Dawn of War 40k since the early 2000s. Warhammer 40k Dawn of War is an RTS game set in a brutal universe 40,000 years in the future. The atmosphere has a brutal looking red sky, the units build fast, and the music from Gregorian is eerie and beautiful. The game has one of my favourite video game characters in Gabriel Angelos. Here's a scene with Gabriel Angelos.
You are a fool, Gabriel. You know you are no match for me.
Of all my brothers, why you? You were stronger than this.
I am stronger than you ever imagined. I can feel the universe tremble at my approach. Even the gods know my name.
No one will remember you, traitor. I will see to that.
Pathetic. You were great once, before doubt addled your will. Before you rendered judgment on Cyrene, before you murdered the innocent and guilty, all in one stroke. You weak, sorry fool! How does it feel to have slain millions? To have betrayed your own family?
I betrayed no one. Innocents die so that humanity may live. I ended their suffering, as I will end yours.
You have beaten me. I cannot believe it. I was wrong, Gabriel. So wrong. I thought I was strong. Strong enough to control it. I wanted to use the power for good, for the Imperium. You must see that. You must give me the chance to make amends, to seek redemption.
If redemption is what you seek, then that is what I will give you. This is the fate of traitors. Remember this, and do not stray. If you do, I will be ready to render you the same service.
Here is the soundtrack in the game from Gregorian. Dark Crusade is an expansion to the original Dawn of War that doesn't require the original Dawn of War in order to run. This time the focus is on a map where you can capture territories and have territories captured, and there's many factions in the game. The game is very accessible, as if you play the game on easy difficulty, it is fairly easy. Whereas with the other expansion, Soulstorm, even on easy difficulty, people find it very difficult. if you have a territory invaded, you can auto-resolve it, so you don't need to spend time doing the mission. And if you lose when you auto-resolve it, you can use save scumming and reload before the auto-resolve and select auto-resolve again until you win the auto-resolve. The factions in the game can be interesting, like the Tao Empire, who are influenced by Asian culture, or chilling like the Necrons, that are ancient robots that want to go around and exterminating all other forms of life in the galaxy. I play through Super Mario World multiple times each year, and it's so warm and charming. It's my favourite 2D platformer of all time, and I like how you can replay levels you've already completed and search for hidden things using Yoshi, and the hand-drawn style, visuals and music and creative levels make me keep coming back to this game. I'm guaranteed some very enjoyable and entertaining sessions every time I play this game. Final Fantasy VIII's story is like art. It's presented elegantly and poetically. It has a warm love story in a world that mixes modern world influences and sci-fi. I love re-experiencing the story over and over, and I think Squall and Rinoa are a lovely couple. The world and the music is beautiful. The junction system actually saves you a lot of time because you don't need to level grind. I know many people are not a big fan of it, but it grew on me on later playthroughs of Final Fantasy VIII. Once people had access to not just the internet, but YouTube, and you can look for the draw points for the powerful magic, you can make your characters become very overpowered quickly. And like I said, it's much quicker than having to level grind. But back in the day when many people didn't have the internet, or even if people did have the internet, they looked up a written online guide and there was no YouTube. It was difficult to find the good draw points, and I guess that's why people didn't care for the junction system at first. Its world and story are always pleasant to come back to, and Final Fantasy VIII is actually my favourite PlayStation 1 game. As for the game being elegant, listen to the beautiful and delicate piano music being played by the beautiful woman and the delicate story scenes between her and the male character. Cyberpunk 2077 is a very different game to the mess that was originally released. Its sci-fi world has so much atmosphere, and I love its neon style and has a survivalist element to it. There's so many missions you do and so many deep backstories. You can romance the characters. There's first-person shooter elements. You can spend a lot of time exploring the atmosphere, and the characters in the game are involved in such complex ways. The Mega Drive version of Aladdin, I keep coming back to it. It's one of my favourite 2D platformers of all time. Aladdin is also my favourite Disney film. I love the story, and the game captures the feel of the movie, what the movie's trying to be about, and the way the music is used, the stage themes, the art style. The gameplay has a flow to it, and I like how it mixes hack and slash with platforming, carpet riding, projectile throwing, and the stages can be very thrilling. The music in the game is incredible, not just the Disney themed music, but other music that's used especially for the escape stage. The stages make me feel like I'm actually in the movie. I keep coming back to this game, and I rebought it physically for Switch, so I always have a copy. World of Illusion is an easy and short game, but it's relaxing, it's fun, it captures the magic of Disney. I keep replaying this game over and over. Mickey and Donald have different levels to play through, even though most of the levels are the same. The game also has a password system, and this is an example of a game that doesn't need to be challenging. It's relaxing, it's beautiful, it's magical, and it's fun. Instead of jumping on enemies, you use a magical cape, and some enemies will attack you by shooting projectiles at you, or in other ways, but this game captures the magic of Disney perfectly. I mean, look at the stage designs, it's just a magical experience. The game can also be played in co-op. Besides platforming, there's also riding carpets or travelling under the sea in a bubble, and the boss battles are fun and creative. Super Mario 3D World has levels that focus on speed. It has lots of brightly coloured levels and entertaining level designs. Some of the levels are African-style savannas, beautiful tropical locations, carnivals, and lush grassy areas and other colourful places. There is a bit of exploration because you need to find enough star shines to progress through the story, but the levels focus on speed. They have a good flow to them, and the wackiness and craziness that you'll see in a Mario game. This game is very accessible for anyone. If you die 5 times, you have the option of using the golden Tanuki suit, and you cannot be harmed by enemies, but you can still die from pitfalls. Some of the levels have racing segments, and using the cat suit to scale walls adds an extra depth to exploration and platforming as well. There's a fun multiplayer feature as well. Rayman Legends is my favourite 2D platformer that's not a Mario or Sonic one. The level designs have a nice flow to them and lots of creative and wacky things, and to make it feel fresh, the levels are very challenging. You can die easily, but there's a lot of checkpoints everywhere, so it's not an easy game, but at the same time it's very forgiving. The artwork and the animation makes it feel like you're watching a cartoon when you're playing this game. There's mechanics that use hovering, or there's a focus on speed. There's some segments where you have a time limit. There's shoot 'em up segments or segments that incorporate soccer. And even as a pure platformer, it's so fun and enjoyable and relaxing. The stages look beautiful and they have good variety in visual style and their environments. Rayman Legends has all the levels from Rayman Origins, which was a great 2D platformer on its own. I've been meaning to make a video about Witcher 3 for a while, because it's in my top 5 favourite games of all time. It has a living, breathing open world that changes every time you play it, because every story decision you make has a big effect on what happens in the world. The world is full of stories and mysteries. The forest and landscape provide atmosphere and beautiful scenery, and the towns feel alive. I spent countless hours exploring the world and being fascinated by its intricately connected stories. There's many interesting characters, and every time you play the game, you'll have a different story experience. There's so much lore, and the way the characters in the game connect to the lore, that's why a TV series based on Witcher has been made. As you probably already know, the developers of Witcher 3 also made Cyberpunk 2077, so the developers know how to make great open world RPGs. As someone who normally prefers JRPGs, the reason I love Witcher 3 so much is because rather than trying to be story driven, which JRPGs usually are, Witcher 3 still uses the Western style approach where you create your own story, but it makes the characters so interesting and so deep and make you care about them as if you were playing a Persona or Trails of Cold Steel game. But just like in a Bethesda RPG, if you want, you can ignore the story in Witcher 3. If you just want to go around and focus on exploring or doing whatever you want, you can ignore the story in this game. But if you want a deep story experience, you'll have it with this game. And every time you play through the story and make different story choices, the story will change greatly. You can spend 100 hours playing this game, and even after you beat it, there's still, and spend a lot of time exploring and doing side quests, there'll be still a lot more things you haven't done. The world has so many secrets, and Witcher 3 is one of the most captivating games I've ever played. I really get drawn into the world every time I play it. And yes, the story does allow you to create romance, you can have sex, the combat allows you to use hack and slash, you can use magic in a third-person shooter-style way, you can also use diplomacy to avoid combat. And of course there's ranged weapons such as crossbows. Even though there is no dedicated stealth mechanic, you can still ambush enemies or take them out at a distance. This is a game that many people can easily sink 100 hours into, and a game that relaxes me and keeps me immersed every time I come back to it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and to everyone who celebrates it, Happy Easter. Take care.